Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another great epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Got my homie downstairs, Mr. Lamont Tyson. We are here in a non-spoilery forum to talk about Exit Protocol, one of the latest action adventure dramas. Came out November the 7th, this past week, 2025. It is rated R, coming in at 1 hour and 24 minutes. Lamont, don't you like those short movies, those 1 hour and 24 minutes? As soon as you start them, it's over with. You know, you got some good entertainment. Thank you so much for being here, man. Why don't you let the people know how you're doing, your expectations going into this film, and also your joint impressions.
Shout out to everybody watching this review. B. Avery works hard, and I'm just glad I can help him lift a little bit. I had no expectation coming into this. B. Avery's like, Mont, I got something we should take a look at. I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't see the poster. I didn't know what to expect.
Wow.
I didn't know if this was a love movie, a drama, or what.
You lying.
But when I actually saw the first 2 minutes, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was like, well, B. Avery would never send me a rom-com. And overall, for this to be a movie that's kind of be like between Tubi, but not Netflix, it's okay. Because it's got a couple of stars in it that I really rocks with, and I enjoy seeing them.
Right on, right on. My expectations going into this, I was excited, you know, because I like my action, I like my martial arts, and I like my gunplay. I like my action adventure, all that stuff. And then when you throw in a man like this, Michael John White, I'm like, oh, okay, hey, I am on board. You got Dolph Lundgren up there as well. We all remember him from Rocky IV and all of the other films that he's played in his long, illustrious career. I was like, man, let's do this. I wasn't even thinking about the quality of the movie. Like, is this a large, big production, or is this some type of B or C movie? The production company is Saban Films, and they have delivered some good work. But Lamont, I have to be honest with you. I was disappointed by this film. I think it is extremely misleading. I did look at the poster before the film came out. I did look at the trailer, and it did not deliver what was promised, and that's just unfortunate. Now, I'm not saying that this movie is bad, but I'm also not saying that this movie is good either. It is being directed by Mr. Sean Dax Taylor. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. Are you familiar with this gentleman, Lamont?
Not at all.
Not at all. If we scroll down and look at his filmography, he has directed before Murder Company in 2024, the Christmas classic, The Best Man, Masquerade, Isolation, Bloodworth, and The Gray. If you've seen any of this man's work or a fan of him, please let us know down in the comment section below. But Lamont, when I was watching this right here, I was saying to myself when it started off, like, okay, this is an extremely low budget film, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you have a shoestring budget, you know, sometimes you just can't get the finances and the resources, you know, to compete with some of the big wigs, the big leagues. But that doesn't mean that you still can have a quality, respectable product. And we're definitely going to discuss that or not. But when things started off, and let me go ahead and just read the synopsis to you guys real quick so you can have an understanding of what you're getting into. Action drama. An assassin whose specialty is killing other assassins trying to get out of the business decides to try to get himself out and must then team up with his former mark to escape the hired killers now gunning for them both. Okay, I'm on board with that. And in the beginning of the film, we do get our first death. It was entertaining. It was also comical. I was saying to myself, wow, this is some high advanced technology that y'all are putting together right here. If you're going to pull off this type of shot, in my opinion, this is 100% unrealistic. It never would happen in a million years. But I said to myself, I don't give a damn. This is fun. This is funny. It's hilarious. I like the bold decisions that they're making. The opening credits of this movie, that I'm not really a fan of opening credits, especially when you have a great opening scene and then there's a title card of the movie and you go to opening credits and then the movie continues. To me, that's jarring. To me, it clocks me out unless the opening credits are telling a story. And they wasn't telling a story in this film, Lamont. They would just had a bunch of names flashing up on the screen. And it was very low budget. But the way they did it was like, you know what? We don't care. This is what we got, the small resources. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have run with this and give you the best picture that we possibly can. And just a slight spoiler, let's just say they had a bullet that was flying through the air, extremely slow motion while they was revealing names. I like that part of the film, and I was here for the ride, and so I thought the opening, it was over the top, but it was entertaining to me. Do you agree or disagree with anything I just said right there?
I agree with you 100%. The opening was entertaining, and I didn't like the way they did that intro because it was just too long. Like I would have been okay if it would have been short, or if, like you said, it was telling a story. They just went too long with it, and it did take the steam out of what it had already built as a show. And so I would 100% agree with you on all those points. And like I said, the opening gets you engaged, but then you get to that long credit. Yeah.
Okay. Not mad at you there. Not mad at you there. I talked about the cast briefly. I know you know who Michael Jai White is. I know you know who Dolph Lundgren is. But do you know this? We got this other name over here on the left side of the poster, Scott Martin. Are you familiar with Scott Martin? Do you know who he is, sir?
No.
I did not either until I saw this film, and this is what the gentleman looks like right here. He is actually the lead in the film. It is not Michael Jai White. It is not Dolph Lundgren. This man is the lead, and this is the rest of the cast right here. We got Scott Martin, Dolph Lundgren, Michael Jai White, Charlotte Kirk, Lena Maya, Stephanie Beran, Aaron McPherson, J.B. Yawa, Clint Hummel, and Jack Sheehan. On top of Mr. Scott Martin, Lamont, right here, who is the main lead in this film, what did you think about him, his casting, his performance, his role, and also the rest of the cast in general?
I felt like his acting was middle of the pack. He's not going to go and be leading man for a major film production company, not yet. Not saying that he won't ever get to that point, but based on this one piece of work, he wouldn't do it. If anything, I felt like Dolph Lundgren was more the lead because he's a more seasoned actor. And I like some of the other characters. There's a character you'll meet in here, audience, called Wicked. She was comedy relief that I don't think was supposed to be comedy relief. And she has a beef with someone. So be prepared for that. That was entertaining. And the setup with Dolph Lundgren and where he came from to where he is now is very intriguing. And by the way, I'm a fan of Dolph Lundgren because number one, he played the first live action He-Man. And if you don't know, this man is a rocket scientist for real. He has a degree in rocket sciences. Very smart guy. And so you'll enjoy his parts and some of the other parts.
I was not aware of that, bro. And an engineer and economist for the Swedish government. What the hell?
Dude is smart.
I had no idea. Oh my God. That is crazy. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, y'all see him back there in the background with Rocky IV. But Dolph Lundgren, he's not the best actor in the world, and he doesn't care to be, but he is entertaining on screen. So I did enjoy his inclusion in this film. I also did enjoy Stephanie Beran as one of the comic reliefs in this film. It was extremely silly, but I was laughing. I'm gonna chop your effing dick off. That was one of her lines. I'm like, if you do not get this emotional woman out of here, and I don't mind saying this. You said she has a beef with a certain character. She does. She has a beef with this gentleman right here, Mr. Scott Martin. His name is Sam Hayden in the film, and so they do have some hilarious exchanges back and forth. But when it comes to Scott Martin right here, whose name is Hayden in the film, I actually like the guy. I would not mind seeing him pop up in something else. I'm not salivating at the mouth for him, but he was cool. But at the same time, my goodness gracious, Lamont, this was the most monotone, driest performance I think I've ever seen my entire life. There was no cadence, no inflection in his voice up or down. No emotion whatsoever. I don't think he got mad once in this movie. I don't think he got sad. I don't think he got excited. It was just, straight vocals, nothing. And that's not good, in my opinion. I want a little something more from my performances. Like, he just never seemed like he was nervous or scared or anything. Maybe it was some facial expressions, but coming from his voice alone, man, there was just nothing there. It was just really dry, really monotone, really straightforward, no emotion. You have this look on your face. Do you agree or disagree with anything I said?
I kind of disagree because he, ladies and gentlemen, he's an assassin and he's a top assassin. Most people that do that work, they're not going to have any emotion. So I can see him being emotionless. But the problem is the assassin that was better than him was full of emotion.
There you go. There you go. But just to push back a little bit, man. I mean, I'm thinking about John Wick. He had more personality than this. I'm thinking about Equalizer, Denzel Washington, and it's not necessarily the personality. I'm just talking about the performance, man. Like I wanted more energy from him. It just everything just seemed dry. And he had good social skills. He had a woman. He had a lady, and their relationship was quite interesting. I mean, he had two love interests in this film, to be honest with you. So he has to be able to have some type of pull, if he's going to get the ladies. And, they were, fairly attractive, to be honest with you. But like, I like the guy. I just wanted a little bit more energy from him. I was disappointed with the action as well because there was a lack thereof. I mean, you have these guns right here, and this is the most action that you're going to see in the whole film. Right here is just Dolph Lundgren with the pistol, with the handgun, and Michael Jai White, shooting this gun right here. You barely get to see him aim at anything. I mean, all you get as far as action is just a bunch of shooting, from afar. There's no hand-to-hand action. There's no weapons. There's no one character body slamming another one or kicking somebody through a wall or anything like that, except for the very, very end. Am I tripping right now? Am my breakdown about the action, or was this some of the best you've ever seen yourself?
No, not at all. And like you said, there was only one Shawn Michaels super kick that Dolph Lundgren delivered, and it was a hard one. Other than that, nothing. When you normally see these type of weapons, you're going to see some hand-to-hand combat. You're going to see some people getting into tuffles and scuffles. You're going to see some people squabbling. You don't get none of that.
Yeah, it's it's not anything special. Just the men in their SWAT track suits just wasn't convincing. These are supposed to be some of the best, assassins in the world, and they are just cannon fodder. How Hayden himself, Dolph Lundgren, or Michael Jai White is just taking them out. It's just too easy. I know they're supposed to be the best assassins in the world, but their company is supposed to have some type of skill as well. And it just didn't match. It just kind of felt like a bunch of high schoolers in pajamas, entertaining, but just nothing pops at you. Nothing is special. How do you feel about the plot, the story, twists and turns that popped up at the end?
It was too easy for me to figure out. And I think maybe that's because I'm kind of done some work in Hollywood. And I've actually tried to work with Dolph Lundgren and Michael Jai White, talk to both of their agents. And when you know that you're going to have a small cast, I'm already mentally expecting to try to pull surprises with that small cast. So to me, it wasn't nothing dynamic about the plot. It has some interesting parts, especially when they get to the Dolph Lundgren hideout. But other than that, I really wasn't surprised by anything.
I got you. It wasn't predictable to me, to be honest with you. At one point in the first act, I was like, oh, he's going to show up home, and this is what's going to happen. And it didn't happen, and I was surprised. And there was something that happened at the very end that I wasn't expecting either. So that's a bonus right there as well. But there's one more cast member that I do want to ask you about. It's by the name. His name is J.B. Yowell. In the film, he was playing Augustus Shadrin. He's supposed to be the villain, Lamont, and I think that this was the worst casting in the movie. There was just nothing threatening to him at all. It was just a joke. I'm like, why are they following this man's orders? Why is he the man at the top, the final boss, level 10? Why are people afraid of him? Like, what does he have on them that's, he's having people bend at his will? It was that was probably the most disappointing aspect of the film to me. Was that casting. JBR was probably a really nice guy, but as the villain, the King Cobra, the man in charge, no, that was a miss. Am I tripping, or do you agree there?
I kind of understand what they were trying to do with him and how they tried to explain him away. Without spoiling, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just do it like this. What we're seeing in the American government right now is a bunch of rich, dumb people thinking that they're smart. That was this guy. And his role didn't call for too much acting for him to do, but what it did call for, he didn't do well.
Yeah.
And it just highlights how sometimes people who are rich and have acquired power by being rich doesn't mean that they're smart. And that's all I got to say about him.
Yeah, I agree. But guys, about this film right here, you got Michael Jai White, you got Dolph Lundgren. Michael Jai White did not throw one punch. He did not throw one kick. All he did is that gun right there. He showed up maybe 2 or 3 times and shot from a distance, and that was it. Same thing with Dolph Lundgren. It was some close-up shootings in a church, and but other than that, there were just really no action, just a little bit of gunplay. The final scene of the movie, there was some physical action between 2 of the characters, but I don't see how that was realistic. It was not. It was just full of plot armor. Like, okay, the good guy is just going to escape for no reason at all, which is completely unrealistic, and just come out on top. And I'm just like, okay, I'm rolling my eyes at this point. I'm glad this movie is only 1 hour and 24 minutes. That's all I have, really, Lamont. Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to get off your chest, sir?
Wait for when you can watch it somewhere free.
So, is this something that you would recommend to the general people out there to watch?
If you are a fan of anybody in this film, yeah, I would recommend it. If you are an action junkie, yes. If you like Tubi, yes. That's about it.
Right on. I like how you put that. Yeah. If you are a fan of anybody in this film, go ahead, check it out. If you just need something to watch and you literally have nothing else, go ahead and watch it. And I do respect a small production that are passionate about filmmaking and just want to, get their voice out there. And so for all those reasons, I support the film, and, that's all I'll have to say about that as well. I did some trailer reactions for Michael, and also Welcome to Derry. I'm also doing that with Lamont. And here's a reaction for Toy Story 5. And we're also covering Power Book 4 Force on Lamont's channel as well. So guys, we just want to thank you again so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video. But before we go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, that's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.